Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and in today's video I'm going to go over 10 4K Blu-ray discs of summer blockbusters you should definitely add to your home theater. When you think of summer blockbusters, it can mean really any number of things. Big tentpole movies released during the months of late April and Labor Day. Just big budget films and movies that have raked in a ton of cash at the box office. Really just big in scope movies that are released in summer are what I'm going to be focusing on in this video, and the 10 4K discs of those blockbusters you should check out for yourself. I'd wager most of you watching at home have heard of every single movie that I'm about to go over, but you may not be aware that it came out on 4K. So I just wanted to pass that along in this video. Also, the only real rule for this list is it had to have been released theatrically during those quote-unquote summer months I mentioned earlier. And other than that, that's pretty much it. Also, the movies I'm going to talk about in this list are not in any particular order. So my number one is not necessarily a number one, but they're all, in my opinion, demo-worthy discs you should check out. Absolutely. And also, be sure to let me know in the comments section below what you would recommend for summer blockbuster movies on 4K. And finally, if you're interested in any of the titles I list in this video, I will leave direct Amazon links in the comments section below. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. The first one I'm going to go over has made many top 10 lists, at least in my channel in the past. And this one is well known to many fans of the film. I'm talking about Mad Max Fury Road. Wow. I mean, this one is one of those 4Ks that, at least for an audio sense, you're going to demo to your friends, because this one is hard hitting all around. This has got some thump to it. I mean, this is essentially a very prolonged car chase, the whole movie. And the destruction and everything with that Dolby Atmos, it's going to be something you will feel in your seats, no doubt about it. And visually, it's not the prettiest picture by aesthetic choice, but it's got a good looking visual style that really comes across well on 4K. It's absolutely an upgrade even over the Blu-ray. So yes, Mad Max Fury Road, you should certainly check that one out. Does anybody remember when 20th Century Fox was an independent studio and they were putting out, in my opinion, some of the best 4K discs? They, I feel, were really, I would say, one of the best, and I stand by that. But let's go back in time a little bit and talk about just a small film, just a little bit, Independence Day. Does anybody remember when this came out in theaters? It was a defining summer blockbuster for the mid-90s. So the 4K disc, also, I feel if you are a fan of the film, you're going to get a very nice presentation. It has some good HDR, brings those alien-like colors, just pops off the screen very well. And it's also one of the discs on this list that supports DTS:X. I believe that it might be the only one. But audio-wise, it has some good sound design choices. I mean, there's some really good stuff here. So as far as summer blockbusters go, Independence Day on 4K is absolutely worth adding to the collection. I know the film itself doesn't get a whole lot of love, but let's face it, you're watching this movie to see stuff blow up. And I think the 4K disc, you're going to get the both visual and audio presentation to see that happen. This next one has a movie star that appears more than once on this particular list, and he has an upcoming sequel to the film I'm about to talk about. And this one is Mission Impossible Fallout. Wow. I mean, this is a just punchy, energetic film, and the audio is just so good. It is really, it's room filling, it's immersive. It just gives you a whole lot to work with, especially if you're sporting Atmos setups. And visually, it also gives you that nice HDR Dolby Vision. But as a bonus, the IMAX aspect ratio also alternates, which I know a lot of fans enjoy, and when it's included on a disc. I'm very excited for the upcoming sequel, and that should make a particular list down the line. But for right now, Mission Impossible Fallout on 4K is worth checking out, and it is a high recommend. Another Tom Cruise summer blockbuster I want to mention is just something that came out not too long ago on 4K, Edge of Tomorrow. Wow, when it comes to sci-fi action, look, if you're going to put together one of those movies, make sure you have a killer soundtrack to go with it. And the audio on this, chef's kiss. It is wonderfully immersive. There is a ton going on. any action scene, you are going to get full utilization of your whole surround environment. And visually, it actually looks pretty good as well. I really enjoy this film. I know it kind of falls a little bit towards the underrated category, but when it was released initially, it was definitely had that summer blockbuster, hype behind it. Whether it achieved the blockbuster numbers, that's a whole other discussion, but on 4K at home, Edge of Tomorrow is worth checking out. It is something that you should absolutely add to your collection. This next one is one of the biggest films of all time. In fact, it's reached kind of a mythic status among fans who love it, who adore it, and it's a film that deserves its place on a lot of lists. Talking about Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. I mean, the movie itself, what can I say? I mean, that hasn't been said before by a million other people, a million other ways. But for the 4K disc, you are certainly getting the best presentation at home. I mean, Nolan is able to do some scary magic, both visually and audio-wise, and he makes sure you get the best presentation. You get some nice IMAX scenes that I know a lot of fans appreciate, but really, that DTS 5.1, that's something that just, I don't know how he does it, but that audio design is just top-notch. He doesn't like to implement a lot of Atmos tracks for his movies, but that 5.1, he squeezes out every bit of audio information and then some. So, yes, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. What can I say? You probably already own it, so this is more or less just for those that have never picked it up before. So, yeah, definitely add this one to your shelf. This next one made a lot of people's most wanted 4K list for very long. It finally came out about a year or two ago, and it's just one of those films that defined Blockbuster back when it was initially released. I'm talking about Back to the Future. Whether you get the first film or the trilogy, you can't deny that the 4K release is something worth checking out. I think they did a beautiful job with the picture. It's got some good imagery to it. And I really appreciate what they did with the HDR Dolby Vision. I think it looks very good. But the upgraded Dolby Atmos, I feel it is one of those that just elevates the movie even further. It doesn't take away from what came before. But yeah, I mean, Back to the Future, it is a movie that deserves its place as a blockbuster of all time, and the 4K is equally impressive. When you think of director Steven Spielberg, I mean, the man is legendary. He's probably one of the greatest filmmakers of our age. And when he put out Saving Private Ryan, I feel it's one of the more defining movies of that era. So now in 4K, you're getting something really special. I mean, visually, there's not a whole lot going on that isn't going to be eye-popping. I mean, it's a gritty war movie. But really, you came for the audio experience, and that Dolby Atmos definitely does not disappoint, because make sure you have your home theater dialed in, because it is a killer. It's one of those, that opening sequence, of course, the Normandy D-Day sequence. Wow. I mean, it's something that, it is awesome. It is awesome. It's horrifying. It's war. And at home, you're getting something really to just fully envelop you into that scene. So Saving Private Ryan, you should probably already own that one, but if you don't, I would rectify that one almost like as quick as you can. Going back into the Christopher Nolan well once more, in my opinion, one of his better films, and on 4K, it makes for a good visual and audio presentation, and this time I'm talking about Inception. I love the movie, and I feel the sound design on this one is really top tier. It's one of those films that, for the 5.1 used, you get a lot of information audio-wise. And that last, I would say, 35, 40 minutes, it's some of the best I've ever heard. It's some good stuff. And of course, visually, it's gorgeous. I only wish there were some IMAX scenes put into this one, but, you know, his visual style, I think, is more than enough. The HDR grading is good. It's not too overblown. I think it's dialed in just right, more on the subtle side. But yeah, look, Inception is a mind-bending film that makes for a good 4K. You should certainly check this one out for yourself. I highly recommend you do so. If you're keeping score at home, this will be my third Tom Cruise movie I'm about to mention. What can I say? The man is made for summer blockbusters, so he deserves to be on this list with his films. And this one, Top Gun Maverick, is one of the best 4K discs out there. It made my 2022 best of list, and really, you are getting the best. I mean, you are in for a treat with this one, because visually and audio-wise, it is something else. It's gorgeous. You get that nice HDR Dolby Vision encode. It looks fantastic. And you also get some fun IMAX scenes. But really, the Dolby Atmos to this one is something else. It's top tier. Those fighter jet sequences are really going to give your Atmos home theater a workout. It's really some good stuff. Top Gun Maverick is one of my personal favorite movies of the past year. And if you get it on 4K, you're getting something really special. And for my last summer blockbuster on 4K Blu-ray disc you need to add to your collection, why not start with the film that many consider to be the beginning of the summer blockbuster phenomenon? I'm talking about Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Look, when it comes to classic cinema and how 4K can really just give you the best presentation of the film, whether it's through restoration efforts or audio upgrades, I mean, Jaws. It's Jaws. Universal did a phenomenal job on this disc. It is one of my favorites that came out the other year. And it is a movie that just, it should be on your shelf. I mean, the 4K is a certain upgrade from the Blu-ray. It's not even close. I mean, not only do you get the best visual presentation, you get that beautiful filmic grain and it looks good, but that Atmos upgrade, it opens up the film very well. I mean, that John Williams score just wraps all around you, and everything that happens in this movie on 4K, it's great. It is fantastic. It is a highest recommendation. In fact, all the movies on this list I highly recommend because that's what 4K is, the best possible visual and audio experience. And for summer blockbusters, this format is absolutely one of the best to just bring you that whole presentation at home. So yes, I highly recommend these films. And once again, check out the Amazon links in the comment section below if you're interested in any of the titles. If you use the links, they really help out the channel. But now it's your turn. What summer blockbusters on 4K would you recommend to everybody? So let's talk about it down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.